I remember when I used to flick through the channels and just so happened to find the show on Space. I remember the not so impressive CGI and thinking, meh. But as I watched more episodes, I was actually more drawn in by the drama and the characters' conflicts, which were actually very interesting. Eventually I got around to watching the whole series, and it turned out to be a very interesting series with some great characters. As for the dinosaurs themselves, well, at first I thought the CGI was bad. And it's actually the thing that turned me away from the show at first. But as I got more drawn into the show, I started getting more used to the bad CGI. And now, I don't even care if the CGI looks bad. I still think it's awesome, and I still think the dinosaurs and other creatures are pretty damn good too. And also, you have to admit, for a TV show, that is some pretty impressive CGI.
Every episode I've watched with a friend, and we ask each other questions about time travel and the consequences. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad.
What I like most about the show is the characters. Every single one of them has always been enjoying to watch. Even though they're written, I can see these people in real life. I never get bored watching them.
The thing about the cast is that they're all likable, they're interesting, and they're charismatic too. They all play off each other so well. Like, it was a really well put together cast.
I would have to agree with you, but what I really liked about this show, it always stayed fresh. I mean, yeah, sure, the dinosaur chases were always basically the same, but there was always something fresh and new, and that's what I really liked about it.
Yeah, that's true. And also, don't forget about the brilliant casting.
Oh, yes.
Although, you know what I noticed?
What?
That this show lives and dies by its cast.
Oh, definitely.
The cast was brilliant right from the start, and we've been with them for 2 seasons, really getting invested in them as a group. But eventually, characters from this group started dying, and as it disperses, the show just doesn't recapture that chemistry they had.
I think the best way this show can be judged is by the eras of the main characters. There's the Cutter era, which was seasons 1 and 2, the Danny Quinn era, which was season 3, and the Matt Anderson era, which was seasons 4 and 5.
Seasons 1 and 2 were great. We had a great cast and the stories were always interesting. Then Cutter dies in season 3. I think this is the point where the show started to go downhill for a lot of people. Ratings started to drop a lot by then. Me? I still love season 3, and Jason Fleming as Danny Quinn was a good enough replacement for Douglas Henschel as Cutter. But more of the cast began to leave, and as season 4 and 5 came around, they had to replace the main character again, and by this point, the show just wasn't the same.
Now, I still like season 4 and 5, but even I have to admit, by then, it was just not the same show and characters that I got into in the first place.
I personally haven't seen season 4 and 5, but from what you told me, maybe that's for the best.
Well, maybe it is, but I still like season 4 and 5, and they're still good nonetheless. And here's hoping for a 6th season, but then again, maybe at this point it's for the better that Primeval doesn't come back, maybe. But Primeval New World, that I hope they renew, because that show actually turned out to be pretty fucking good.
I definitely had to give that show a watch, but this show, definitely not worth a watch. You will not regret it. I know I didn't.